So this is my canning adventure. So I have these mason jars. The recipe for the tomato. So I'm making, let me show you what I'm making. The recipe that I'm making is out of this Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. And I'm doing the Italian style tomato sauce. And it makes about 3 pint jars. So, alright. And I got my 4.5 pounds. It says you'll need about 4.5 pounds of plum tomatoes, but based on research I've done, it doesn't matter what kind of tomatoes you use. They all will work. It'll all work fine. And I have a food mill that I'll be running it through. So I have the tomatoes defrosting in there. I've just been collecting them. All those, like I said, are all homegrown from my parents. So it makes 3 pints. I took down 4 jars just in case, but I only am doing 3 lids. I need to actually get some more lids. I took these from, I guess it was about a year ago now, maybe a little over a year ago. I canned a bunch of jelly, and when I did that, I had bought like some little 1/2 pint jars, and they came with the rings and the lids. So I just took the lids out from there because I didn't use them all, so it works out. I do need to order some more lids from Amazon, and all these rings look good to me. So I'm just gonna leave all these here, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna put these in the dishwasher along with dishes, because that's all you have to do. You just have to run them through the dishwasher and they'll be good. So I'll do that tomorrow, and by the time they're done through the dishwasher, then I should be done with this. So I mentioned earlier what I have to do. I have several things bookmarked here. What I have to do is I have to go to the store. Like I said, I have some celery, so I'm probably gonna I have some celery in the freezer that I think will work out. Oh no, I have some in the fridge. What am I doing? So I probably need to get some carrot and onion at the store tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking. And I might pick up a couple more tomatoes because I have that whole bag of tomatoes in the freezer, and they're just shy of 4.5 pounds. So, yeah, that's my thoughts right now. And and I took out my canning stuff. So this is a water bath canning recipe. So I just use this stock pot here. And then this is some supplies I got here. So I'll give this a good wash tomorrow as well. Let's go, at least a rinse. No, I'm gonna wash it because it's been sitting in there for a while. And then I'll put some dishcloth. I'll put a dishcloth on the bottom, and that'll make and I'll be able to stick my jars in there. And I am just gonna do one. Like I said, I'm only gonna do 1 batch. I don't quite have enough for a full second batch. But I guess it'll probably be good, since this is my first time doing this. It'll be good to do a little experiment there. And luckily, because these are all like homegrown tomatoes, kind of like no harm, no foul type of thing. I mean, apart from having to go buy the onion and the carrot, the celery is stuff I have in my fridge just because I have celery that we got to snack on. Worst case scenario, I also have some celery in the freezer that I'll just use instead. If I need to, that'll be fine, I think. So, yeah. That is that, and I will see you tomorrow when I start my canning adventure. I gotta go on Amazon and order some more canning lids before I forget. Alright, next day now. These have been defrosting overnight in the fridge. As you can see, they're still pretty frozen. So I have them just sitting out right now. I just got back from the store. I got my onion I needed. I got the carrots. I already put them in the fridge. I got new lemon juice because the one I had expired like 2 years ago. So it's time for a new one. And this specific brand I've seen used in canning recipes before, so I know that's gonna work. Yeah. So like I said, I'm just gonna leave these out for a little bit to get them going on being defrosted a little bit more. All right, I think these tomatoes are defrosted enough to start processing. So I'm going to get my food mill out and start processing it. Yeah, I got my food mill set up. Yeah, I'm using this popcorn bowl because I figure it's deep enough for it. And now it's the moment of truth. Let's see. I got one tomato in there. Oh, it's doing a thing. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 hands. All right, update on this. I ended up only having enough for about 3/4 of a recipe. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So I have 6 cups of the tomato puree. I have 1 cup in there and 5 in here. I've cut up a half a cup of onion, half a cup of celery, and 3/8 of a cup of carrot. And like I said, I'm basically just cooking this to make those vegetables tender, which will be about just under 5 minutes. This is my food recycler, composter, whatever. So lots of stuff to process tonight. I'm actually gonna set this to go right now because it's pretty full. 5 hours, okay. It's always amusing to me see what it decides. Anyways, so this smells good. It's not reading tomato sauce, but it's reading soup. I'm concerned that my puree is watery. It seems very watery to me, so I don't know. I might end up with a very watery sauce, so we'll see. I guess if that happens, then that means when I use it, I'll just have to thicken it up or something. This is leftover tomato puree, so I'm not discarding it yet because I might go ahead and defrost the rest of the tomatoes in the freezer and do another batch tomorrow. See if I can get a full batch. So I guess we'll see kind of how this goes. I would like, because let's see, it's 4:45-ish right now. I would like to use some, because I know I'm only going to be able to can about 1 or 2 jars with this recipe, because it only makes about 3 pints. So yeah. So I don't know what else I was going to say. I forgot. All right, so there's the soupy sauce. So now this is supposed to boil for about 15 minutes to get reduced by about 1/3. So I'm hoping it'll thicken up decently by then. But yeah, this is more juicy than pureed. So I gotta figure it out. So I'll figure things out. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna try and finish cleaning up here, and yeah. So this is my sauce. It's really watery. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm very frustrated right now. Anyway, I'm just putting them into jars. I'm gonna let them cool before I put them into canner. That's my setup there. I have 1 pint done. I'm gonna try and fill up this pint. If I taste a little bit of it, I don't even know if it tastes good, guys. I don't know. I may have just failed completely. So we'll see. Once it's done canning and stuff, I guess we'll see. All right, I just put the sauce back in the pot. I'm just gonna cook it down some more and try and get it thickened up. So I will not be using it for dinner tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Alright, so I switched pans. Yeah, the vent won't turn off because of this, but take it off the heat. And I think it's thickened up enough to where it's thickened up enough to where I can try canning it now. So we'll see. I might only get one jar. Alright, I just want this to cool down though before I put it in my jars. Alright, so there's my one lonely can in my canner. Well, my water bath canning thing. I'm laughing because it's completely ridiculous after all that to get one thing of sauce. But you live and you learn, and you know what? I'm enjoying the process, so whatever. Anyway, I'm just waiting for this to come up to a boil. Then I gotta cover it and let it go for 40 minutes. That's based on my elevation, so. Alrighty. So I am now waiting for it to cool. So once, basically it just needs to cool, and I'll put it on a paper towel, or not paper towel, dish towel, and let it cool overnight. Alright, canning tomato sauce take 2. This is yesterday's, or I guess 2 days ago, because that's when, this is the end product of that. Really watery, even though I reduced it. I don't know. I might end up just, honestly, I might get rid of this because I'm not impressed, but I want to see how this turns out. I only had enough for a half batch this time, so we'll see. Maybe I'll, if I'm lucky, maybe I'll get a whole jar of sauce. Who knows? I'm not feeling optimistic about this, guys. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to regroup for canning tomato sauce if this doesn't work. In conclusion to the whole Tomato Chronicles, I have decided that this attempt was officially a wash. I didn't even jar up what I had made the other day. No, what I had made today, because, oh my gosh, Callie's going crazy. Because it was just turning out liquidy again, and I was, are you good? I was a little, and then I had a little, well, it was turning out liquidy, and I ended up dumping the jar that I did can up the other day, because it was really liquidy, and I don't know, I might be overthinking it, but just to be on the safe side, I just called it a wash. Like I said, I mean, all these tomatoes were either just like leftover tomatoes that would have been tossed out, or they were, well, actually, I don't think I mentioned that part, but they were either leftover tomatoes that we had gotten for various things, and they would have just been tossed out, so we just went ahead and saved them. Some of the tomatoes, and then most of them were from my parents' garden. And then the celery was already in my fridge because I had bought a snack on, so it needs to be used. So apart from the onion and the carrots, both of which the leftovers will be used anyway. Apart from that, and of course having replenished my lemon juice, it didn't really cost me anything to do this except for a lot of time. So, you know, all in all, I'm okay with letting it go. I want, you know, it's kind of a learning curve. I want to experiment. I think next time I'm going to, because I know about how many pounds of tomatoes fit in these gallon bags. So I'm going to try and get enough tomatoes. I'm going to do a different recipe next time. And I think that recipe, from what I'm looking at, will be a lot more foolproof, a lot more along the lines of what I was trying to do. Whereas I don't know that this recipe was one that was exactly lined up with what I was trying to do. I don't know. That's all I could think of. It just turned out watery, and it was all juice, no puree. So I don't know what the deal is. And then this last batch ended up with a bunch of seeds in it too, which I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to have seeds in your sauce when you jar it, so when you can it. So like I said, erring on the side of caution. Anyway, so thank you for coming along on my canning chronicles. We'll try again when I have a bunch of tomatoes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you next time.